Hey guys, it's Heather, and today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people struggle with, that being water slides. So I print water slides with inkjet printer, which do have to be sealed, and I also print them with a laser printer, and those don't have to be sealed, but I seal mine just because it makes it easier for applying them. So today I have a couple examples of the different water slides that I have. So with my Inkjet water slides, I do seal for the first layer a clear matte Rust-Oleum. The second layer I do a Plasti-Dip, a clear Plasti-Dip layer, and then for the third layer I do another layer of Rust-Oleum matte clear. I do it in that order because the Plasti-Dip does have a gloss finish, so therefore it can repel your epoxy if you do that as your top layer. So let's dive into what Inkjet water slides are all about.
So I'm going to switch it over so that way they can see the tank that's set up. So this is going to break down exactly step by step what you'll need to do, or what she's about to do, which is for the inkjet printed water slides themselves. This is showing the step one. This is what the bottle itself looks like of the spray paint. Then it's going to show the second bottle of the Plasti-Dip. So you do a coat of the 2x matte clear. This is what we use. Then one coat of the Plasti-Dip glossifier, and then your last step will be one coat of the 2x matte clear. And you'll let each of those dry before you apply the next one. So.
Okay, so my first example is going to be an inkjet sealed water slide. So I just cut off a little piece of one of my already sealed water slides. So I'm going to show you guys how it comes off, how I apply it, and how easily it is once you seal your water slide properly. So I'm just going to put it in my water and let it sit for a couple of seconds. You do want to cut your water slides out after you seal them, because if you cut them out first and then seal them, it can actually seal the edges of your water slide to the paper backing. So I do make sure that I cut out all of my water slides after sealing them. And these all are clear water slides as well. Okay, so a couple of seconds in the water. It's not coming off quite yet, so we're just going to leave it in there for a little bit longer. These take a little bit longer of water soaking.
Because of them being sealed?
Yeah, because of them being sealed, they do take a little bit longer. Because it does have to soak through all of the paper backing and everything through the sealer. Okay, so I have a little bit of it coming off. You can see that it slides off of my paper backing. So you would just put it on your cup and put your finger on the water slide and slide it off. And that's how you would apply it. If you needed to move it around, you can slide it down. You can slide it around and move it around because it's still wet on the back. Now you can take a silicone brush, and once it's exactly where you want it to be, you want to put your finger on the water slide and run your silicone brush over it so that it gets all the water out from underneath it. And that is an inkjet printed water slide that has been sealed properly. Okay, so this one is a little bit of a bigger one. It is an inkjet printed water slide, and it wasn't completely sealed with the complete method that I usually do. It was only sealed once with a matte clear spray paint. So we're going to stick this one in our water. Now, sometimes you will see that they curl up, and if your water slide does curl up once you apply it to your cup, that is mostly because it's been sealed too many times.
So you can't seal it too much.
Yes, so you can seal it too much. It'll make your edges start to roll up while it's on your cup. And you have to really fight to get it to stick to your cup and unroll. Some people do say that they prefer warm water for their water slides. I've done it with warm water, cold water. It all kind of works the same for me. So the temperature of the water doesn't really help or hurt me any that I've noticed. Okay, so you're going to see that this one is very thin. And then you can apply it to it like that and slide it down. You will notice on this that the color starts to crack while I'm trying to put it onto my cup. It starts to peel up some of the water, or the ink, really. And it's a lot thinner than what I'm used to working with. Okay, so just squeegeeing out the water on it. And you can see once I get really close up to the top, the ink is actually running on it. You can see the ink spots right there on it. The ink wasn't sealed properly. With an inkjet printer, you do have to seal it no matter what. The ink is not baked into your water slide like it is for a laser printer, so it does require you to seal it. So we're going to take this off. You can also see how thin and fragile it is. My other one isn't, it's not that thin or fragile. You can see I've already taken it
back on.
Yeah, I can wet it again and stick it back on my cup without a problem. And it looked perfect the way that it's supposed to be. No ink running, no cracking of your water slide or anything like that. Let's get that ink off of there, off of the cup. So this one is a not sealed water slide from my laser printer. So I'm going to put this in my water. You do not have to seal these, but the reason I like to seal them is because they are very fragile. And they are hard to work with. You can't apply too much of pressure. You can't brush it with the silicone brush because the ink kind of breaks up on it.
So I'm going to show the page while that's soaking if you want. And you can explain kind of the steps of what you do to seal those.
So for the laser printer, I don't have to seal it as much as I would my inkjet. So for these, I just do one layer of Plasti Dip to give it that plastic-like consistency. And so it's a little bit more thick, so it's easier to work with. And then I do one layer of matte clear to go over that glossy finish on the Plasti Dip so that it does not repel my epoxy.
That's how you do this.
So I've soaked my laser printed water slide in water, and you just pull it off lightly, very gently. You will notice it kind of crinkles up some. Now for these, if I take my silicone brush and run it across it, sometimes it will pull up a little bit of the ink. The ink kind of flakes off. So you can see that some of my letters aren't the way that they're supposed to be.
Like on bun.
Yeah, you can see that on the word bun that a piece of the ink has actually lifted off. It comes off in somewhat, it's like flakes that it comes off on. So you have to be a lot more gentle with these. Just because they haven't been sealed, they don't have any, you can't be rough with them at all. And I'm very rough with my water slides. So I do like to have mine sealed, especially for a full cup wrap. When I take a water slide and I wrap a cup completely, like this one, I did a full cup wrap on this cup. So I did seal this one. I did print it on my laser printer, and then I sealed it with the Plasti Dip, one layer of Plasti Dip, one layer of matte clear, so that it was a tougher consistency, so that it could hold up to me spreading it and rubbing out all of the water on it on the cup. So I'm going to peel this one off, and then this next one I'm going to do on a cup that I've been actually working on. Now this cup it did come white like this. I didn't spray paint it. So this is a sealed laser water slide, and you'll be able to tell that this one is a lot easier to work with. It doesn't feel as thin and fragile in your hands when you're trying to get it to slide off onto the cup. You will notice that I'm able to take my silicone brush and run over it to squeegee all of the water out from underneath it without it peeling up any of my ink, which is very important. So the laser printed ones, since they're not sealed as much as the inkjet ones, you don't have to let it sit in the water for as long. You will notice that it will come off of the water after a few, or off of the paper backing after a few seconds. Let it soak for a little bit longer. I did cut this out after I sealed it as well, which is very important. So with this one, I can tell that my edge is, so lifting up some, so I can tell that it's released from the paper backing, and you can see that I'm moving it around on the paper. You can even see the difference with it because it looks thicker than what the other one was. So I just put it on my cup, slide the paper backing off of it, and then center it the way that I want it to be. Make sure it's centered and even on my cup to the label that I'm trying to get under. Like that. And then I'm going to take my squeegee and I'm going to put my finger down on one corner of it and squeegee across it to get all the water out of it. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side. And top to bottom. And you can see that it went on there perfectly with none of the ink coming off or anything like that. And that is a perfectly sealed water slide.
So that's the difference between the two.
So that's the difference between the two. Another thing that a lot of people ask is, what is the difference between a white water slide and a clear water slide? As you can tell, this is a clear water slide. It is see-through, transparent, and is usually used on a light colored cup. If I do it on a cup that is dark, you will not be able to see what's on the water slide. You won't be able to see the image. So the white cups, white glitter, things like that, you can see the glitter through a clear water slide. So if you want to be able to see the glitter in the background through the water slide image that you put on your cup, and it's a light colored cup, it's always recommended that you use a clear water slide. A white water slide has a white background, and those are used for darker cups. And they are also recommended that you cut them out because since the whole backing is white, you want to cut out your image as close as you can to that, because the white backing will stay on there and will go on your cup and be around your image if you don't cut it off.
You did that on the stitch cup, right?
Yeah, so this one, for this image right here, I used a white water slide. So since this cup was black up at the top, I did use a white water slide so that you could see the image. If I would have used a clear water slide like this one, you wouldn't be able to see the image as well. Probably none at all, because it's a black background. So you would not be able to see the image. So I did do it on a white water slide so that you could see the image on the dark cup. You will see that around the body that it didn't cut close enough. And that just means sometimes that happens, but it's not a big deal. Now, if I didn't cut it out, you would have the whole image backed in white. So that is when, on a dark colored cup, is when you want to use a white water slide. And on a light colored cup, you can use a clear so that it has a strong backing on it, the white backing on it, so that it's clear, more legible. And that's the difference between those.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate all of the support. If If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Also hit that like and hit that notification bell. That way you guys know every time we put a video out. If you want to see more content, put the comment down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.